LSG, what's going on? Welcome. Finally back. Going back live once again. I gotta say, how's everyone's week going so far? Hopefully everyone's been doing well. Of course, there's gotta always be some sort of news that is going on. And the crazy part is that this whole RTX 50 Super series and even the mass production of the RTX 6000 series could really get pushed up to 2028. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started because I want to see how everybody is feeling about the current situation. So fam guys, what's going on? It's Chris Mizo here. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, if you're doing a PC build in 2026, you already see how rough the pricing is currently looking. Whether you look at NVMe's, RAM, GPUs, or whatever type of PC hardware, it seems like we get sort of a break when it comes to motherboards, and same thing with PSUs, sort of, but not quite completely, especially with the current cost of gold and silver and how expensive it truly is to build a PC in 2026. Now, this is an open forum. You can feel free to ask any questions if you are looking to build a PC. Now, you're probably more or so curious about the pricing of RAM, of NVMe's, and the whole debacle. Hopefully, you guys got to check out that whole issue with the MSI 12-volt high power port connector, how it seems that it somehow gets loose over time. I definitely would recommend that anybody out there that does have a MSI power supply, definitely check it out, see how true it is. Again, as I mentioned in the video, it's not going to be every single MSI power supply that's out there. Of course, there's a few cases that this has happened, but I'm really curious to see if this thermal cycling is truly one of the issues, or if it could be more of a mechanical issue that is going on where you nearly have to get like almost like a VGA type like screw in order for this to work correctly. So let's go ahead and check out Micro Center. I know you guys would love to see how the current situation is looking, which I am just about to open up for you guys. So it seems that Micro Center has more deals going on. Of course, there are some great deals that you can certainly get when it comes to Newegg, when it comes to certain deals, and make sure to check out my page as I do post the best deals. And no, I'm not talking about a $500 RAM kit because we all know that's really crazy expensive as it is. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch over to the browser mode so you guys can check it out. So we're going to take a look at Micro Center, as let me zoom in quite a bit for you guys. I know you guys right there, this is a bit better. I know the little type of screen doesn't help, so I'm going to expand this out for you guys a little bit so we can take a look at better deals. Isn't that better? Now we got a nice little full screen that we can finally take a look. Let's make this just a bit bigger there, guys. Perfect. All right, so if you guys are looking to build a PC, we all know it's really hard in order for anyone to really get parts for a PC, especially when it comes to hardware. Now, what I first recommend everybody to do if you are trying to build a PC in 2026, especially if you're new at building, I highly recommend everybody to go over to make sure to take a look at the bundles, whether if it's AMD or Intel. And the same thing applies when it comes to looking over at Newegg. Now, at Micro Center, if you're lucky enough to have a Micro Center near where you live, they do have 3-in-1 combo kits. For a little while, Micro Center was doing away with these combo kits, sort of, where it was just only the motherboard and the processor, and they wouldn't even add the RAM as part of the kit. But now they realized that it's hard to sell practically a bare bones kit if you don't have RAM. You can't start a PC without any RAM. So one of the top recommended ones I gotta say is you can certainly take a look at is this AMD Ryzen 7500X 3D processor. Great processor. Great for anyone that loves the game, even if it's games that require a lot of processing power with the GPU as well. Games such as Unreal Engine 5, as we all know how demanding that is. Now, if you're new to PCs, this is just to forewarn you, it's just as hard when it comes to PCs. Whether you gamed on a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, we all know that Unreal Engine 5 is not easy on anything. So this does come with a RAM kit. It comes with 16 gigabytes. It's a single channel kit. So you'll only get one stick of RAM in order for you to be able to use this PC. But that's all you really need. Especially if you're on a bit of a tighter budget. Of course, it's always better to get dual channel. It would be nice to get dual channel, but not everybody is going to have the extra spare money in order to be able to take advantage of things like dual channel. Now, if you are strictly looking for something like that, they do have kits out here. The lowest one is this $500 kit. Now, it does come with this 7700X. Now, even though it's not an X3D, it's still going to be great at performing the tasks that you are currently looking for. Maybe you're looking to be more of a creative. Maybe you prefer to do things like photo editing or video editing. And this processor is going to be good for that. It's not going to be a heavyweight champion compared to, like, say, like a 9950X, of course, or even a 7950X. But that doesn't matter. This is great for anybody out there who is looking forward to try to attempt to stream, or maybe you're looking into things like DaVinci, or maybe you're more of a Adobe person. Now, if you are an Adobe person, usually I highly recommend going over to Intel side, as a lot of their processors are much more compatible when it comes to Adobe products. It's just made for it. Same thing with NVIDIA. So if we take a look at this kit specifically, it is a Gigabyte B650 kit. Still very relevant to this day. Now, some of you may have questions. Is it going to be compatible with Zen 6? Of course, I can certainly say that more than likely it's probably not going to have that compatibility yet. Reason being is because it requires a 64 megabyte BIOS. Now, let me see here, guys. Before we continue here, I just realized something. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so when you take a look at this kit here, it does have the 7700X B650, which is a great one, a great starter for anybody out there that is looking to have a motherboard for their PC. And same thing when it comes to the kit. It comes with G-Skills Flare. Now, it's not the perfect kit for everyone out there that is looking for DDR5, but it is the most minimal required type of RAM in order for you to take advantage of when it comes to your PC. Now, let's go ahead and go over to the next section, as let's take a look at how RAM honestly truly looks. Now, if you're not looking for a specific kit, like if you're not looking for a processor, you're not looking for a motherboard, you're not looking for a RAM kit, then you're probably going to look for the single piece of hardware. Now, of course, this is not always going to be the best pricing, but I am certainly curious since we last looked on Wednesday. Now, when we last looked at Wednesday for a 64 megabyte kit that is 6,000 megahertz and CL30, it was roughly about $1,050. Yes, $1,050. So if you want to spend extra money on RAM, you can. But I don't think anybody wants to focus on purchasing RAM that expensive. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the RAM side. We're going to take a look at some of the memory and see how much the pricing currently is. So let's go ahead and take a look here, and we're going to look at DDR5 specifically. I don't even want to get into DDR4. Of course, it's going to be just as expensive. And the crazy point is that it's not even going to be that far off the mark, which I will show you in a bit. So this same kit is now $1,010, $1,110. So yes, it's gone up about $50. So it seems that the pricing has refused to go down. Instead, it went the exact opposite. So you might be hearing, hey, RAM is should start to stagnate. Things should look better. I think the prices should technically drop. But haven't we all heard practically the same story? Even back in November, when they were talking about once Black Friday hits, that these RAM sticks are going to be on sale. But guess what? They never were. And it still isn't on sale even into February, and we're practically going into March. It's quite ridiculous, and of course, really unaffordable for anyone to really build a true gaming PC to their liking to a certain specification, but you can certainly get away with building a PC if you're not looking at too deeply into the specs. Now, if you are new to building PCs, the most recommended RAM kit for anybody out there is going to obviously be a 6000 megahertz kit, or at least 6400 megahertz if you can get your hands on it, with a latency of CL30, maybe even under CL30 if it's possible. But with these current pricing and the current markets, it's going to really make it hard for anyone to certainly afford. So if you take a look here, the most affordable kits, which has been holding steadily, is this G-Skill Flare X5 kit. Now, it does have CL36. It's not going to make a huge impact if you're looking to build a PC and just certainly try to get away with that type of build. Now, let me see here. I am a bit curious here, guys, because I am trying to make sure that, let me see something, guys. Let me go back here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure that was in. All right, so now looking at this RAM kit, I would say the most recommended one to get is look for the lower pricing. It doesn't have to be CL30. It really doesn't. You can actually go after RAM kits that are much more affordable. You can look for RAM kits that are about, say, maybe $325. And your question is, does it really truly exist? And it does. They do it. They do currently do exist. Now, if you take a look at, say, this, let's say CL48 kit, $330. But sometimes Micro Center might not always be the best place to look. So I usually recommend even going into places like Newegg. Now, Newegg doesn't have the most perfect pricing, as we all know. Sometimes they like to mess around with the pricing, and it's gets kind of questionable. And hopefully this time it isn't when we take a look. So for the same exact kit, it should be like about, you can probably get CL32, not CL32, more like CL36, a bit closer to this price of CL48, which is honestly quite ridiculous for the current pricing and the current rate for this RAM kit. So we're going to go ahead and go into Newegg here, and we're going to take a look. Now, I'm going to look at this exact copy of this RAM kit here, okay? Same exact one. It's probably going to be expensive, to be honest, just because it's RAM. Yes, random access memory. Who would have thought, right? So, the same exact kits. This one is specifically CL48, and now they're charging $430. So this is actually a bit more expensive than Micro Center. Now, is it truly from Newegg? Now, anybody that does purchase from Newegg, I highly recommend you to hit in stock and sold by Newegg. And the reason being is because Newegg does have a lot of third-party sellers on there. So you want to try to get the most accurate pricing. So even though that might be a bit discouraging to see, the current pricing or the current outlook, for example, the first thing that comes up into mind is $739.99 for some RAM, which is really ridiculous. Now, it is 64 gigabytes and it is CL40, but it should nowhere close to that price, to be honest. So what we're going to do here is we're going to switch it over to lowest price first and see how it's going to look. Now that we're over here on lowest price here, we're going to see the $255, okay? And this is specifically for 5200 megahertz. Now, this is why you see like a lot of pre-built PCs. For example, we could take a look at Micro Center's Alienware. Let me see if it's still in the front cover, because if it is, you'll see exactly why. If you take a look at Micro Center's Alienware here specifically, when you go into here, it should have about CL48, I think. It's like, or 5200 megahertz. Let me see. And they don't have it anymore up in the front, so we can go to the desktop side. But I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's honestly not a bad deal, because it's $2,200. Here it is. And this is the exact one that I am currently talking about. So, yes, Alienware. What's up, weenie? So, 5200 megahertz for 32 gigabytes, right? And that is the reason. More than likely, the latency is going to be a lot higher. It's going to be CL48. Welcome in, weenie, as always. I gotta say, it's pretty interesting. I've never seen the chat this quiet before. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show, so I don't mind. If you want me to continue rambling on, I certainly don't mind that either. So again, $255 for this kit. Now it does have two 8GB sticks if that is what you're looking for. Now, if you're going a bit further down, you can see better deals when it comes to like 32GB kits. Now, this is the perfect example what I wanted to show everybody here. Now, you see this price, it says $409, but if you take a look over here, what is that? That's Crucial's Pro overclocking RAM sticks. Now, I can share the link with everybody out here if you are interested in it. Now, this is decent. This is CL32, and it's 6400 megahertz. In fact, it's the same exact kit I got sitting in my drawer preparing for the next build, which will be really soon. I'm really waiting on this whole Arrow Lake situation. Hopefully we get that pretty much figured out. It would be nice once we get this whole Arrow Lake smoothened out. And when this whole refresh gets officially announced, come on Intel, I know you're listening in. Just announce the damn thing already. But anyway, Crucial's Pro overclocking is 32GB, which is the minimal capacity that I usually recommend people to have. Reason being, you have the flexibility to be able to use it for either, say, editing, or you have the flexibility of gaming, even overclocking. Now, the thing about Crucial sticks, just to let everybody know, they are quite limited when it comes to overclocking. You can do it, it's just going to be very tight when it comes to timings. So if you do choose to pick up a kit, or maybe you're more of a person that just prefers plug and play. Most people are. You just want to plug it in into your PC, get ready to go, and start gaming. This would be the perfect kit to do so. Now, $410 compared to the original price of what we saw earlier. Remember how much that was? It was close to around the same price, but the latency is much more late. Now, this is much better for anybody out there that is looking for a RAM set that is closer for AMD, or even a RAM set that is closer for Intel. So this is actually going to be good for two. So thank you, Uncle Aussie, for subscribing. So, yeah, as mentioned, this would definitely give you a bit more flexibility when it comes to that side of things here. Now, if we go down, they do have a white kit for anyone that is doing some sort of white build. Maybe you're doing an ice build. Now at CL38, doesn't make sense. Of course, the latency is a bit later, but you do get that white look. Or maybe you could just go ahead and get the Crucials, just take off the heat sinks and kind of paint them white for all that, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't have RGBs anyway, so why does it matter, right? So, you do have a bit of options when it comes to Crucial's RAM sticks, and more than likely, they're just trying to offload everything that they currently have when it comes to the RAM, because, of course, they're no longer in business. Now, when we go to down to Corsair, of course, this is where it gets a bit more expensive, because, of course, you're purchasing for their name, which is great, and they're all sticks now made specifically by SK Hynix. Now, they use a DRAM from SK Hynix, I should say. So, if you take a look at their sticks, it's CL36 for 32 gigabytes. Now, back then, if you guys remember when we went to Micro Center back in September, it was only about $90 when we first purchased it, which is insane. So, when you really think about it, it went up 4 times the price than it originally did. So, of course, it is massively expensive than what it was. I mean, it's literally gone up like quite a bit. I mean, who would have thought? Again, 4 times the price of once it originally was. Now you can go with, this is, again, it gets sketchy because you're seeing numbers that are just pretty much thrown up. And the reason why you see these weird numbers getting thrown up just like this is because they just don't know how to price it correctly. The pricing nearly makes no sense. You take a look at 48 gigabytes, it's $460. But it's $460 for CL46. So sure, you get a bit more capacity, but then you also get quite a bit more of latency. You're getting close to nearly about what? You could got CL32 for a decent price, right? And for just an extra for about an extra 16 gigabytes of RAM plus a higher latency. You spend a bit more for a RAM stick like this. Again, doesn't make sense. Of course, the voltages are going to be quite different between the two. Preferably when it comes to both AMD and Intel, the better voltages you want to look for are around that 1.35 range, or 1.4 even. 1.25 is another one. But those are the ranges that you want to look for when it comes to RAM. Now, what about GPUs? How is the GPU market looking, especially when it comes to pricing? Now, a perfect thing to put up for comparables is just like this Dell Alienware Aura Act 1250 gaming PC. How can they possibly price a PC still at $2,200? Now, if you're wondering how they can do it, how they made this actually possible, is because it's still, and the crazy part is it's still an RTX 5080. So let's go ahead and take a look at the PC parts here. And we're going to go over to take a look at the whole GPU side. Now, if we take a look at GPUs, you're going to see just how expensive it truly can be. Now, we're going to specifically look for the 5000 series or the 50 series for RTX series. Now, the good news is if you do plan to get a GPU, you can actually get Resident Evil Requiem with the PC, with your RTX card, with any really RTX 50 series card. Now, the GPU that they do have in stock, and it seems to be in stock everywhere pretty much, is the RTX 5090. Now, they do have the, it's specifically Gigabyte's WindForce OC edition, as it is $3,500. Now, if that is a GPU that you would go for it, because they have more than 25 stock over here in Miami. So instead, if you're not more into that type of realm, if it's a bit expensive as it is, of course, they do have 5070 Ti's. Now, 5070 Ti's have gone up quite a bit on pricing. The 5070 Ti has gone up about $200 over the usual asking price when it comes to purchase. Now, originally, you could get a Shadow, MSI NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti Shadow, for a much better deal than $979. Originally, you could purchase it for as low as $779, or even like, just say, let's give them a little benefit of the doubt. Usually it's like touching like about $800, but not $979. And what is even more insane is when you take a look over at ASUS's NVIDIA RTX 5080, it's at 16 gigabytes, of course, and then it's at $1,500. Now, if you're not familiar with ASUS's line, they do have 4 tiers. You have the Prime, you also have Tough, you also have the ROG Strix, and you have the ROG Astral. And now those are the top 4 lines when it comes to ASUS. Now, if you are purchasing a RTX card from ASUS and you purchase a Prime, it's not going to be the top tier line from ASUS. So that just gives you an idea of just how expensive it is currently in today's market. The ASUS NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 5080 series, which is the Prime, is $1,500. Yes, $1,500 for this card, which is absolutely insane. And then when you move on to just say like, again, a better deal is these RTX 5070 Ti's, I feel for sure. If you are to select between the two, between a 5070 Ti and a RTX 5080, you obviously have to go 5070 Ti a bit more. So Evo LIX says he bought 2 sticks Tridents at 32 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz at DDR4 for $95 Canadian dollars. 6 months ago, it's now $507, almost $600 after tax. Yes, that is absolutely crazy. Again, the pricing, it doesn't seem like it's going to get better. And I wouldn't be surprised to tell you, Evo, if you had your RAM sticks and you just held them and you just waited, say, like 2 or 3 months, and you say, man, I remember when $507 plus tax was cheap, and then you're going to see the newer prices push like closer to like, say, $700 or even $800 for that same exact kit. That's practically where we're headed to. I'm just curious when it comes to places that aren't really part PC like hardware savvy, such as Micro Center. I know there's a few people out there who managed to get lucky when it comes to purchasing at RAM at a Walmart if it's available. Now, obviously, not all Walmarts are going to have PC hardware unless you have a really large Walmart and PCs are obviously big there. I would imagine you would find it probably a bit closer to places like in, say, California or something, because I think you would certainly find RAM in that way. Now, if you were, I would check them out. Maybe you can get a better deal on it. Some people were able to score even GPUs that way. There was a few people that were able to be lucky enough to pick it up at a Staples, a place where you would usually not really even think of. So, the biggest strategy in order to find, if you're lucky enough, if they have it as well, is going to any of those areas where it's not going to be as PC hardware savvy. And sometimes you can get away with it. Now, when it comes to any of these, thank you. Oh yeah, sorry for this, guys, because I gotta eat my dinner. It was really a crazy day, so I'm just starting to catch up, and now I am a bit fatigued, so I haven't ate since 12. So Flapjack says, just in case you were wondering why the chat is quiet. What happened? I have no idea, to be honest. I can't see it anyway. So I'm just eating some chicken breast. If you guys are curious, some boiled eggs. Let me see. Right there. I don't know. I don't want to flip it too much because then I'll spill it. Oh, really? The broken system. Oh, yeah. I was wondering why it was. So, hopefully you guys are certainly entertained so far. I've been talking my ass off too, guys. And right now I'm just kind of refueling. So forgive me for eating. So, sorry for eating, guys. Hopefully you don't mind, but this is why I like to eat some chicken breast right here. Nice and hot from the oven. That's insane. So the messages are messed up right now. Come on, YouTube. You're really messing things up. No wonder why LSG was over at Twitch. So if you guys want to talk, you can head over to my Twitch side. I apologize for that. That is insane. I wonder what's up with YouTube recently. The screw AI. Yeah, it was really odd. When I first looked at it, I was like, huh, did I put a setting on by accident? But it looked okay. Let me see. Engage. I'm just going to be funny here because I'm just going to add some like random stuff. Yeah, it isn't working. I'm not even able to chat. Even myself, I just tried to send some things. I wasn't able to talk. What's going on, Ernesto? Thank you for joining in. God dang it. Come on, YouTube. Get your shit together, right? It's always something. But hopefully you guys are finding this meaningful. Obviously, Sony and Microsoft are probably going to delay their consoles for anyone that does care for consoles anyway. They're going to end up delaying their consoles more than likely than 2029. Again, GPUs, again, won't really come back to normal till at least like 27, 28. So I do agree. Man, weenie. The Giza, yes. Thank you, Goku. Glad to see you guys in. You know what's funny? No wonder. It makes me wonder who texted me now. Because maybe they were telling me. Man, I got a friend that's going through some hard times, and I hope he's feeling better. Definitely going to hit him up later. Especially when it comes... Did you pick up any video cards before? I was lucky enough to get one from Gigabyte. Gigabyte had sent a card I have actually set into the, I have it sitting right now inside of the storage area. It's a Gigabyte RTX 5070 Ti, and we are definitely going to do a PC build very soon. There actually may be a surprise build, guys. I'm really excited to share with you. Oh man, I just realized. Switch over, it's Evo. Oh, awesome, Evo. Yeah, it's a, oh, it started acting up, didn't it? Freaking YouTube, bro. YouTube is, I'm extending it now for you guys so that way you guys can see the browser. I apologize for the momentary pause. I'm just refueling. I gotta refuel. And I gotta have my fiber, the broccoli. I just came from the gym too. I just actually just did some bench presses. Oh, it's good to see you guys though. I'm glad you guys are over on Twitch though, at least. Had to go on Twitch since my chat wasn't sending in YouTube. But I just got, yeah, sure, feel free. Feel free to ask Milk. 5070 Ti, cool. I remember those 700, 800. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Robert. I remember when 700. Yeah, absolutely. That's the crazy thing. Do you buy protein as well or natural? It's just like, I believe it or not, I just eat chicken, like natural chicken. I can see you on YouTube. I'm glad you guys can see me. I was just like wondering, this is unusually quiet. I was like, can't be like a members only stream because I see everybody's in here. I just that I was just like thrown off. I was like, is it on subscriber mode or something only? But yeah, I'm glad you guys see it. I know LSG was just here, so I'm glad he said something in the beginning. He was the first one that said yo, so I was like, okay, you know, there are people in here. Maybe it's the whole Resident Evil. Everyone's getting hyped up. So, do you think the prices will go even higher before lower? I'm debating whether to build a PC. Honestly, they're probably going to be pretty stagnant. It's not going to be a healthy stagnant. It's going to stay kind of like where it is. If you notice, it's kind of held for like probably about a decent month and a half, I would say. I come on it on YouTube, but I don't think. Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah, sorry, Ernesto. I did not see it. Any new RAM companies import? There was. That's a great question, Goku. There was. There was a company from China. They were hoping that they would actually go be really competitive when it comes to pricing, but unfortunately, I don't know why, and I don't know how companies really mess this up. But there was a company from China that came out with the RAM sticks, but they charged just as much as Corsair. So there goes the hope for RAM being cheaper from China. Yeah, I sent them a message on YouTube, but yeah, I can't see them. I can't see any of the messages quite yet. I see a lot of pre-builds are using T-Force. T-Force is excellent. T-Force is actually decent. If you are thinking of getting T-Force RAM, that's like probably, I would rank that pretty much close to like G-Skill, just like under G-Skill. So they're actually pretty decent if you are thinking of going T-Force. Of course, like if you're looking for budget, the most thing you want to look for. Thank you for subscribing, Katie. Thank you, Jay. I do highly recommend the 6400 megahertz kit you can get from Crucial, which is CL32. It's right on Newegg. I would definitely take a look at that. I'll definitely share the links as soon as I can, as soon as I get this plate of food out my hands. But you guys are more than free to ask any questions about pre-builds, especially if you're new. I know it can be quite demoralizing, especially seeing the pricing right now. So how is your 9800 X3D doing? It's doing well. I haven't had any issues, but I do have an interesting test coming up. I'm really curious. I'm excited to do it with you guys. I'm supposed to get something in next week, and if it does, I'll show you. I will unbox it live, but I definitely will run some tests on it. Man, I'm considering to get a 9070 XT instead of 50. Do it, worth this. Absolutely do what worth this said. Absolutely do it. If you go over to a 9070 XT, you'll be impressed. You'll save $400 at least, $400 or $500 on a 5070 Ti. Just imagine how many games you can get on top of it. And 9800 X3D air cooled or mandatory? It's not mandatory to liquid cool. Not a 9800 X3D. It's nice. The reason being because it can get hot. It doesn't require as much wattage, so it's supposed to have low heat dissipation. But if you go with a cooler, Noctua is awesome to go with. If you get the NH2, like their main CPU cooler, that would be a great option, especially if you're afraid of liquid. I know there's people out there that's afraid of leaks. I don't blame them. That would be the way to go. What's the difference on the RTX 5060 and 8? Just having more VRAM. They both actually take GB204, I think, which is the same GPU that's in the 5060. So the GB204. I think, yeah, it's a 204, or I get my numbers mixed up. It's one of them. But anyway, it's practically the same GPU. The clock speeds, boost speeds are pretty much the same. It's just more VRAM. Yes, absolutely, Goku. When do you think of the power consumption of 9070 XT and really? No. That's no way. That makes no sense. There's no way there's more consumption from the 9070 XT. Now I can tell you, it takes maybe 330 watts at the max. A little bit over sometimes if you really push a 9070 XT. Now if you're pushing a 5070 Ti, you're going to push probably 370. So it's a bit higher. Not crazy higher, but it's like more like 370 range. I'm putting together my first gaming PC and I'm stuck at the cooler. Should I get a budget one or spend a little? What type of PC build are you doing? What's up, Bob? Your YouTube, I don't know what's going on with it. Now moving on to the next product, an arcade cabinet. That's awesome. What's the best GPU you know that still has VGA? Man, you're talking throwbacks here. VGA or DVI at least. DVI, maybe the GTX. I would say probably GTX 970. That would probably be a decent one. Like for best GPU you can get, like that has DVI. People who don't care for RTX features are mainly. That's what I'm saying, Goku. Exactly. Like just like what Goku is saying here. If you don't really care about path tracing, RTX 50. Not RTX. RX 9070 XT is the way to go. You will not spend as much money, and it performs wonderfully. Nightwalker, my EVGA 1080 Ti. Oh, still does. So I was thinking 1080. I didn't want to say 1080 unless I was absolutely certain. But if it does, that would be the card to get. The 1080 Ti would be top tier. Definitely the best card that has a DVI still. So I'm considering a 9070 XT worth it. I might get a Ultra 5265 with it. Yeah. No, that wouldn't be a bad option. Obviously, with the 265Ks, they're really hard deals to beat. In fact, let's go ahead and check one out because I know you guys are curious about their bundles here. Here goes one. Ultra 7 265K. Now, this comes with the RAM. It comes with the As You Wish ASUS motherboard, and it does also come with a 265K F processor. The 32 gigabytes is probably CL36 on this kit. But again, that's a very good deal here. And NLS, good to see you. I'm glad to see you. Some of the YouTube is working. Some guys are working. 1080 is what runs on that 370-70K. Great Retro Box can even run Witcher 3. Oh, really? Man, you know what, though? I'll tell you what. Sometimes it does make you want to go retro. Like, you do want to go retro builds. I mean, sometimes you miss that kind of stuff, you know? Have you seen any reports of 9800 X3Ds having more stable frames or less frame dips than the 9850? I haven't really pushed it yet. I haven't got the 9850 Extra D. I did speak to somebody about it. Unfortunately, I was unable to obtain one yet because they're all distributed. But I'm going to try to attempt to get it once again. I'll have to email them and try to get one in. If I can't, I'll go to Micro Center and get one if I got it. But it's not. I can tell you the value is not going to be really worth it unless you are looking to just have the top frames. Because I mean, you're just spending extra $50 to be the top tier when it comes to your processor at the time, may I add, because, you know, we still got Zen 6 that's coming, but unfortunately Zen 6, I heard it's not, I heard more than likely we're not going to see it till CES of 2027, 2027. Damn, that's kind of far when you really think about it. Bro, I wish we had Micro Center here. A 529 doesn't even cover the price of a 32 gigabyte RAM. That's in, what? Wow. That's a shame. It's terrible. Like, I think at this point, to be honest, I think everyone would love to see OpenAI just kind of fall at this point. I don't, honestly, I haven't seen an improvement. Like, nobody's actually going and purchasing their services anymore. People are still taking advantage of the free service, but I do know that they're trying to add ads to it to make it seem that there's incentives for these investors because they're getting pissed off. They're saying we're not making shit right now. So I'm glad I live near one. So I ordered from Overclockers in UK, and I think there's like our Micro Center. There's some free suites with everything a bit random, but I guess I'll take it. Oh yeah, I mean, as long as if they got something. There's a few I heard from. You know what's interesting to me, guys, just to throw in there is this whole. I don't know if you guys saw it, the Thermal Grizzly. What's it called? It's a connector where you can actually measure out the voltage that's actually being used on your GPU. And someone actually overclocked it and burned the original one because there's two. They have a second iteration. And the second iteration, D-Bauer actually sent him a brand new one, which is pretty dope of him. Do you think PNY? Absolutely. If for a 1400, yes, it's good. But I have to ask you, what are you using the PNY 5080 for? Just out of curiosity. And what type of display do you have? So Newegg offered me a 32 gigabytes of DDR5 with the extra Miku motherboard. Oh man. How can you? I wouldn't pass that up. I love the colors on the Miku boards, though. I do. If I could get my hands on one, I would love to get it. Excuse me, just taking a bite, guys. So, did you hear about DeepSeek? I did not. That's pretty funny. To be honest, though, let me tell you guys a secret. This is pretty funny. Now, if you are using things like any AI platform, OpenAI, Google Gemini, it doesn't matter, whatever. You could really go, say if you go into an article, say you go into some sort of Wall Street Journal article, and you wanted to read it. You don't have a subscription. Did you know if you highlight that link and you put it into AI, it'll actually summarize it for you. So you don't need the subscription. It's still available in Newegg. Yeah, sure. Feel free to post it. I think Twitch allows links too, which is nice. I think it's a lie. Really? I can see it though, to be honest. Oh, really? Yeah, let's take a look at that combo kit. I'm going to highlight that combo kit Bob Barkinson had sent over. Come on, copy already. Okay. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so we're going to open this up. Oh, wow. Yeah. You know, if Wasabi was here, he would literally go insane. Because he wants this. He wants the GPU, actually. And to get the motherboard on top of it? What? That's actually decent. I got to share this with everyone, too. I don't think... yeah. I don't think RAM prices will ever go back down to... I don't think so either. I think the new standard is going to be like around $300 for RAM kits. And the worst part is it just seems like everything's just going to be stagnant from here. Whether it's GPUs, RAM, it doesn't matter. Everything's going to be up. Anthropic will fall to eventually to after OpenAI. I don't see OpenAI ads. And that's the problem. I think people would just, as soon as something like that happens, as soon as they see that, they're just going to opt out. No one's going to care. Yeah, Miku, man. That's like their money maker. Like, even the RTX 5080 is insane. I love the colors, though. I mean, look at it. Like, if you see this motherboard, say, if you're not a fan of Miku, just say. I mean, just look at it. It's just sick. Don't you guys agree? That's a sick color. I love the vibe. I've always liked these type of colors, like this teal and pink color. It kind of gives it that whole Miami vibe, you know what I mean? So everything else will go up too. Yes. That's what's awesome about it. Almost like GPUs, they increase prices because, you know what the crazy thing is, like when it comes to GPUs? It's pretty much like saying, well, if we raise the price, what are they going to do about it, right? But obviously, they're saying they're raising the price because of this whole RAM situation. But it kind of nearly doesn't make sense at times. Like when you look at these wafers. I mean, take a look at this. This is going to be an example here. We're going to go to Micro Center real quick. And I just want to show you guys this. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's dope. Is that motherboard for the Strix Halo CPU? No, that motherboard is not, but you could use a AMD motherboard. I mean, not motherboard, AMD processor into it. So we're going to look this up. Now, tell me how this makes sense. Some of you guys may already know where I'm headed to. But take a look at this. Tell me how this makes sense. Okay, now for 2 terabytes, it's $400. $400, guys, for 4 terabytes. I mean, 2 terabytes. That should be the price for 4 terabytes, not 2. And that's PCI Express 4. That is PCI Express 4. Sadly, the GPU is hard to find. You know, you're absolutely right, because anytime I've been to Micro Center, I have better luck finding the Duhabib edition of ASUS, which is that gold-plated GPU, or the gold GPU that they have. Yeah, YouTube chat's not working. So if anyone's on YouTube, just let you know the YouTube chat may not be working. It's working for some, but not everyone, it seems. I just saw Samsung is selling Apple some Micron. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And Apple immediately said yes. Oh, wow. Micron, man. Just imagine if they tried to make a comeback. One regret I only bought 1 terabyte SSD. I think a lot of people feel like that. I remember when me and Ricardo, which if you guys saw that stream last year, we went to Micro Center, and he was able to get a 2 terabyte and 1 terabyte. But the 2 terabyte for it was on sale. It was 160, I think, or 150. It was around that price. And he got the 1 terabyte for about $60. Crazy. Now you'd be lucky to find anything in the double digits. Wasabi. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Did you see that Miku board? I gotta say. I gotta pull that back. I just gotta show this to Wasabi. You gotta thank Bob for this. Take a look at this. I know they might not have it in your location, but that's a pretty decent deal. I just had to share that with you. Like anyone that's looking for that Miko board, they do have it. You know, if Takuma saw that, he would definitely buy it if he could. Mr. Rainbow, good to see you. I woke up in the middle of the night and see all of you people. Oh, awesome. Thank you for coming in, as always. I think the RAM prices are going to... I hope so. I think we all hope so. Storage maybe a bit... yeah, with that V-color RAM. Yeah, sure. So, what the Miku... I wonder if they even have it. Let's try it. Miku RTX 5080. It probably won't come up, but I'll give it a shot. There it is. Yeah, it did come up, but it just says sold out. This is what it looks like. It's sick. It really is. Take a look at that. Isn't that dope? I love the colors. Like, I know everybody gets tired of like that gunmetal gray. Because like so many GPUs are gunmetal gray, or it's just like this black color or charcoal gray. So does the 7800X 3D run hotter? No, they actually run about the same. They should be running about the same. 7800X 3D and the 9800X 3D should be pretty much close. The only difference is the IPC lift is going to be different. It's about 10 to 15% difference when it comes to their IPC. The ROG board is better than my Miku. Meta and AMD. Oh yeah, I did see that. That's pretty insane. How about AMD just announces? Why doesn't AMD just announce a new GPU already? That's what they need to announce. They just need to announce a 9080 or a 9090. You know? Yes. Would absolutely love it, Goku. Absolutely. I think I'm like I'm the guy who's okay, Bob. It stopped working for you all of a sudden? God dang, YouTube. What's up with YouTube? I'm a fan of the founders of the okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you had to alternate it, MSI recently came out with the waifu series. No, oh yeah, they did. You're right. You just reminded me they did. They showed it. They showed some of it at CES. So if you want to you know who else has it? What's that company's name again? It's from China. Gamers Nexus went over there, in fact. Please someone remind me of that name, but it's a company from China. They also create like 5070 Ti's, and they create like 5080s, or even RX 9070 XTs. Yeah, Yeston, that's it. Yeston, that's it, Bob. Thank you. They also have them. What's a good PC for 1100 max and tax customs? Where are you located? I gotta know that, because if you're in Brazil, we all know how that's gonna be. I had to undervolt my 9070 XT because I tried to play Alan Wake 2. And my oh really? Oh, what happened? Oh man, that sucks, Wasabi. Those AMD selling those 9070 XTs like Little Caesar. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I don't think so either, bro. Yeah, I don't think so either. The Omen Max 16-inch laptop for 1900, do you think? Well, they all have different configurations. Is it the 32 gigabyte? I think it's 32 gigabytes, correct? The one that you were looking at for that price? It sounds about right. But I like the designs for Maxons better than Yeston. Oh, I gotta ask everybody here. Does anyone have the MSI not GPU, MSI PSU, specifically the Meg, like maybe the 1000 watt version or 1300 watt version? What is your thoughts about this whole situation? About it possibly just creeping out on its own when it comes to the adapter. Whether you use adapter or if you use the actual straight up power supply, they're saying if you have the 12 volt high power port, it's actually because of thermals that it could be creeping out. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So far, when I've checked mines, I haven't seen it. Now I do have it hooked up to a 5090 to add in there, so I haven't seen it get to the point where it started creeping out on its own yet. Can you show the Miku? Do they have a Miku PSU? I have no idea if they did. Z-Man, what's up? Temperatures were high and systems can no longer handle it. So if I have a 9800X 3D with the XFX 9070RX, just confused if I should go. No, absolutely. I think it would honestly be good. If you have money for a TYRX, that's awesome actually. Be Quiet's a good choice, but it all depends on what type of aesthetic you're going for. Now everyone has different preferences when it comes to aesthetics. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not sure if I think they do. I think really. Let's look it up. I'll look it up. Miku PSU. No, at least not in Micro Center. Let's try Newegg. There it is. They do have it. What? $887. That is crazy. It's nice looking, but to be honest, how often does anybody go to their PSU and be like, "Oh, I have a Miku." Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell, especially if your case has it like hidden. Yeah, they really truly did. It's dope looking. I would make sure it's seen. I would get a case where you can see the PSU. A few good specs: 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RX 7600. I have an MSI 1250. So far, gold. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's true. They do have the case. This case is dope, actually. I'll show you guys. I do like the case. PC case. You ready? This is actually pretty dope. There it is right there. That's pretty sick, right? How that looks. Do you recommend the Pro? Oh yeah, absolutely. If you are a creator of some sort, or if you are some sort of videographer, photographer type of deal, a Pro Art motherboard would be a way to go. You can actually game on it too if you wanted to. So if you're asking if you can use it as a hybrid mode, like sort of, you can. You absolutely can. There's no reason why you can't. Still has plenty of VRMs. You'll be pretty much good. Are you thinking of the new one, the new B850 Pro Art motherboard, or the X870E, or even the Z890? That's the thing. I just like the colors. I think the colors are sick. I like how they designed it too. Like, even if you look at the details, like how they even show like the straps on here, like the Velcro straps, they match the case. They could easily just put black ones. Oh, that's wonderful. Don't we all love scalpers, guys? Yay, scalper. They're definitely our best friends, right? Can you buy me an RTX 2060? I have 580 right now. Where? That's true. That's true. It does feel like Waifu Wednesday. Oh man. Oh, I know what happened. It copied the whole thing. I got you, Bob. It's gonna come up. Here it is. There it is. Oh wow. That's dope. They have everything all coordinated together. Man, they went full out. That's insane. I feel like I'm eating real slow. And believe it or not, like when my wife makes this in the oven, it's actually still moist. It's not too dry. I won't choke on the chicken breast. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Get rid of the PS5 if you can. If where I live makes a difference, 32 and 48 gigabytes RAM is like $50. Do you think I should get? If you can, you can. Are you using your PC to also create as well? Then I would say it's worth it. If you're not, then maybe 32 gigabytes is good enough for you. 3. I got 3 big chicken. I'm down to 2 now, guys. Right here. This is it. I'm on number 2. I make sure they're like 22 grams of protein each. Oh, really? So hopefully everything went well with the dentist. Yeah, the Pro Art's good. If you go with the Pro Art X870E, you recommend the Intel version. I get it because if you're a big Adobe user. Can I get I'm not saying GTA 6 will claim PS. Yeah, that's a big problem. That's one of my weaknesses. Like I love actually, you know, I personally love cake and like ice cream. I do like sweets too. So I got to watch it. And the crazy part is, of course, if you any of you guys like this is anywhere, honestly. It's just like when you go to a decent bakery, it's hard to say no to like some nice coffee and some nice cake. Well, I have the 9950 X3D and my friend went with Intel. AMD is constrained by the chipset. Well, it just depends. I gotta say with AMD, honestly, it's actually AMD has a decent PCI Express usage. It just depends on the AMD processor you use. If you use a 9700 without the X, or if you're using like a processor where it's limiting like a 8400F, yes, you won't get all your PCI Express lane usage, but you have to make sure to get a higher tier processor in order to take advantage of the PCI Express lanes. So if you are paying something like for X870E, of course you got to go 9950X. Then you won't lose the lanes that way. Yes, partially. I do two things to answer worth this. Went to M&M World. Hey man, I love that. I love that. That sounds good with me. Now the funny thing is, you know, like there's like Easter rabbits, like where they're like all chocolate. That's coming up soon, right? So I mean, like as a kid, I would never be able to finish it. I could only eat half. Now me as a full grown adult, the kid side of me, it's like, hey, like just tear it up, like that's do what you've always wanted to do. Just be a pig and just eat the whole thing. I'm using Blender and Comfy UI almost exclusively, a bit of Nuke. So what we talk about is PC gaming here, or PC building, depending on what you're into. Chris, will GTA 6 come to PC? It will. It's definitely will. It just what I'm curious about, because the Steam machine, more than likely, it's going to end up coming out sooner than we expected. I hope so, at least. Maybe I just have high expectations because the Steam machine's supposed to compete with consoles. So if that's the case, then we can possibly expect even a release nearly the same date as console users, which would be a nice advantage, because if it's available on Steam Machine, you can certainly bet it will be also available on it will also be available when it comes to PC users. So 2060 is trash. Do you think the 9070 XT should be paired with AMD CPU, or is it yeah, it's perfectly fine with the Intel processor. You don't have to get AMD CPU in order to use it. Now, of course, they say you can take advantage of it that way, but it's not necessary. Of course, it's nice to have a whole AMD system if you want to match everything, but again, yeah, that's right, Kilobyte. Cadbury Bunnyist. That's funny. I like that. Photo apps would definitely benefit from the bandwidth more from the cores than the Intel. You have 2 times the bus speed in most scenarios. You built it with the 11 Vision. I'm thinking of. That's a decent case, by the way. Now photo apps, like I said, if you're talking like Adobe, I get it. Yes, because Adobe's optimized for it. But there are other programs out there some others may want to use. I do also recommend Z890 if you are mostly like doing photography and videography work. I do agree. But the PCI lanes that part's not 100% true. You can also have just as much. It's just the optimization part. So, but despite my complaints, That's where I bought it, so I'm stuck with it, and I'll pretend I like it. So I was gonna pair the X870E MSI Carbon. So again, like anybody that is thinking of a MSI motherboard, this is the board. Personally, one of my favorites. Flapjack is certainly making the right move if that's what he is going with. So Xbox and PlayStation will see out. You know, the funny thing is I'm hearing different things, whether if they're going to go SoC or if they're going to go dedicated GPU. But it depends on how bad it gets. I wouldn't be surprised if if they go strictly SoC. So I know it sounds ridiculous, but if GTA 6 comes out this year, parts might go up for the next year. That it's true. It's possible. It's very possible, but I don't think it will be mainly because of that. It has a lot to do with AI as well. If I add 10 gigabyte cards for my X870E and 9950X, well, plus my 5080. No, you should be good. Because when it comes to your 10 gigabit card that you do plan to add, it only uses one lane. It should technically use about one lane, I believe. My friend has been having a issue with Windows 11 install on new build. It keeps freezing at under 20%. Okay, is this with the new update? Now, I caution people that do update their Windows. Just be careful on what build you have and what version you're downloading. Again, it's been problematic recently. Honestly, I would recommend just go Windows 10. See if it works. I bet Windows 10 works a bit better. Would it? Oh, to connect your Synology. That's interesting. Your network attached system. That's what you want to do. No. Either way, it shouldn't. It shouldn't affect it. It's going to be good. Are you planning to use both LAN cables? One from the motherboard and also your extension. Worth this. To answer your question, let me just finish this up real quick. It's just staring at me. I apologize, everyone that's just coming in. This is not an eating stream. Usually I don't eat on stream, but I'm super hungry. And I just came from the gym, so I'm just like re-upping. Ooh. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna get some water. I do apologize. Feel free to chat, and I will answer. I just gotta get a cup of water. It's starting to get to that point. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I don't want to choke on the chicken. That's a good question. You're curious if the summer 5090 Ti is possible. No. I'll tell you right that. Not for us, not for the consumers. More than likely, it's going to be for local AI. I would say for more local AI, we're going to see that a bit more often. I checked my PSU cables and they were good. Oh, good. Yes. Everyone, check your PSU cables, especially if you have MSI. I have started looking for old hardware when it comes to consoles. I don't see a bright future ahead of us. I'm going to buy as many Switch OLEDs and PS3 and PS2. I'm telling you, everything's going to go retro at this point. Honestly, you know what would be pretty dope is just get like a older system like a PS4, or even like say go with a even a Wii. like the original Wii, and you just end up like putting it into you make it look dope. You put it into like a mini ITX case or something. That would be pretty dope, I think. So, is it true that NVIDIA drivers sometimes, that's because of, that's more of the engineer side. That's more of their doing. They still got to work on that. At the time when the 50 series first came out, I'd say like it took maybe about 7 months for them to figure it out. It was the longest wait when it came to the 50 series for them to actually make it do so much better. If this was Back to the Future, yeah, PS2. Who doesn't miss that era? Did anybody out there, just be honest, I'm just curious. Anybody out there, like back in the PS2 era, did you guys do any home brewing? If you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure there's quite a few out there. Remember to boot up, you would boot up the disc and then you would put in the whatever game you would like to play next. Now, another good question. No, any place CRT? That's a good question. CRT? You know, I would say you got me thinking here. Most people end up scrapping the CRT monitors. It's quite the error too. So I'm thinking where they would have it. I don't even think antique shops have it. I would say your best luck is honestly like someplace like a marketplace or offer up. Because I'm thinking like of every shop. Did yes, I didn't start the homebrew adventure until PSP era. Hey, at least you tried it. You got to see it. Buying a disc and yes, absolutely. I do miss it. That's Bob's on point though. Yeah, but it does. That was pretty dope on PSP. You put in a game like yeah, everyone had GTA. Everyone had GTA on PSP, and then you would put that in, and then you can make it turn into like a Marvel game. Remember, guys? And then you can make it turn into God of War. My new PC is over 3,000 with new NZXT. Flow RGB plus NZXT Kraken. Oh, that's pretty dope. Linux on his PS. I have not. That would be fun. I lived in the PS2 era, never had one. Missed the old days where the Icy Tower downloaded. Just remember how legendary that intro was too. Like when it came to PS2 when you first started up, how it would just feel like it would feel like the future when you started up at PS2. Anyone that had one, like it just felt iconic, right? Like when you turned on that PS2, just that sound, like you could just hear it, right? Definitely one of the best sounds, I feel. Like out of all the PlayStations, I think PS2 is certainly up on the list when it comes to best sounds. That's a good point, CRT on Craigslist. You know, the thing is, Craigslist is kind of a creepy place because you never know like what's going to happen when you're on there now. I do like now, like they do have police stations where you can actually meet people. Ryzen 7 9800 X3D with the 5080. That's a good choice, but 5080 Super, you're gonna have to wait till it's probably not going to exist, to be honest. You're probably better. You have better luck going with a 5080 standards or even a 6080. Never had a PS at all. Yeah, once you go PC gaming, that's it. You know what was amazing? When I was able to play PS2 games like on PC, I realized I could play games like Soul Reaper 2. Remember that, guys? Soul Reaper 2. I mean, my wife and my mom already bought it for my. Oh, that's funny. Oh, really? That's pretty insane. You know, funny story, guys. One of the first PC jobs I had on Craigslist, I went to this, it was an eBay company that sold used PCs, like used laptops. It was in a really weird place. At the time, I was living in Philadelphia, and I had to drive to Delaware to get to this place. And when I drove over there, it looked like a house. Again, this is a Craigslist job. So I went into the house and checked it out. And he had like pretty much like laptops, PCs like all over the place. And he was pretty much like one of those top eBay sellers or whatever. And all he would do is pretty much like fix or repair PCs, but he just constantly bought like broken PCs to fix. And he wasn't making a killing, but the way he was, it sounded like I wasn't going to get really paid like as much as I thought I was on that gig. And then no kidding, at the end of the day, he just offers me to take a hit with him once with some weed. And that was it. I was like, nah, I'm not coming back to this. That was the last Craigslist job I went for. That was it. Do you agree that GTA 6 graphics probably will look the same? I think I know what you mean, but it's going to. They tried to run Red Dead's system onto GTA 6, but it didn't work. So that's why they had that custom system. So I think it's honestly going to exceed it. I think it's going to be a bit better. Oh yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Philly. Nothing wrong with Philly. I gotta say, and when it comes, how are the Philly cheesesteaks where you live now? Not as good. Not nowhere as good. We have them. We have Philly cheesesteaks, but they're just not as delicious. Over in Miami now, so definitely a big difference. Believe it or not, there's still like a lot of stores that are inspired from Philly. We actually have, what's it called? We have Hoagie Hut, I think it is, and that's originally came from Philly too. I miss co-op Left 4 Dead. Left for Dead. I feel like they're gonna somehow make a comeback. Same thing with Half-Life 3. I think we'll see Half-Life 3 make a comeback too. And speaking of which, let's see what they got on sale. They got combos. What's today's combos? Yes, I did. Yes, I did go to Independence Hall. Pizza ones are great. Oh, oh, speaking of combos are good. For some reason, and now I know this is going to be for the people that's usually over on the, definitely from people from Philly and from Jersey will know this, is that it seems like Wawa's is the only place that really has combos, right? At that or the stores, the corner stores, the birthplace of freedom. The wall part is, guys, is anybody, for all you guys of, yeah, there you go. For all you guys that are from Philly or from Jersey that are Eagles fans, I got a very crazy story to tell you. Well, not really crazy story, but unbelievable thing that actually happened. But I know this is PC talk too, so sorry if I'm boring you guys with some random topics here. Just trying to finish up my meal here. I have a 7800 XT and it struggles with power spike. If that's the case, I highly recommend Seasonic. Seasonic is less likely to power spike. Now, if you're struggling with power spikes, I would highly recommend getting a. You can go multi-rail depending if you're not overclocking. I'm assuming you're not overclocking. Multi-rail's more stable when it comes to things like if you're worried about power spiking. So look for a multi-rail PSU. Now there's some PSUs out there. I know Be Quiet's 14, their new one. It won't pop. It has multi-rail and it also has single rail. Set it to multi-rail. Same thing with Corsair. Corsair also has that option. So that's the type of PSU that you will want to look for to prevent any type of power spiking. Now, let me tell you, if you go multi-rail, it's going to bog down the performance slightly because you're running more stable. But if you care about stability, then multi-rail is the way to go. Hopefully that answered your question there. Let's see. We have an AMD Ryzen 9700X with the X870 with Corsair's 32 gigabytes. Honestly, not bad. I could see why people would be nervous about this deal. Because we face it, we all know that ASRock motherboards are a bit sketchy when it comes to reliability. But I am curious to see how well it will fare. I'm just going to throw this in the cart and we're going to take a closer look here. Now, this is the 9700X. And it does have the X870E. Why is the 12th gen Intel CPUs more or the same price? You know, it's because people are still buying them, believe it or not. What's up, NYC? Good to see you. My people over at YouTube, is the chat working okay for you guys? Out of curiosity. It seems like it's been kind of working pretty regular at the most now. For anyone that's trying to talk to me, if it's still having some weird issue when it comes to YouTube, feel free to join in on Twitch as well. Because then you can talk on there. Because it seems like it sometimes works. It'll work like for maybe a couple sentences and then people switch back over to Twitch. But I am curious about this board. Of course, this is the one that has a lot of controversy. Okay. So all you YouTube guys out there, all come to Waffle Skater's realm over to Twitter. Over to Twitch. If you need something to say or you have a question, go onto the Twitch stream. Yeah. Freaking YouTube, right? Doing the YouTube thing. Wary if, you know? Yes, I get it. You know what's funny? It's just like the Twitch stream got bombarded a little bit earlier. But that's all good. I do love to have viewers on both ends. So I am curious about this motherboard. It's a decent price, and believe it or not, it's actually cheaper than RAM. Way cheaper. Discord. Oh yeah, speaking of Discord, I'm gonna work on that, figure something out. Obviously, there's people that's going to be against Discord. I've seen people leaving left and right of Discord. I do have also a server for if you have questions or you want to show off your builds. Currently, it's still up. I'll probably keep it open just in case. But I am looking at other options. There's two other options I'm thinking of, even possibly even a third option for those who do want to join. Now it's free for anyone to join. Now, if you are a member, please let me know so I can add you to a role so you can enter the roundtable. So, yeah, as my Discord just came up right now. So you can feel free to join it, but I will think of an alternative for you guys that are refuse to use Discord now. I'm not sure if they're really going through with it with this whole scanning of the face thing. So and scanning your ID. Now, if it does ask you that, I would suggest people not to do it because if you guys don't know, Discord has issues when it comes to getting hacked. So I wouldn't suggest doing it. On YouTube, yes, I heard Tech Cities had. Yes, that's why I'm also interested in this. It's a nice looking board, so I'm very curious. Like, how often will this happen? So, I would love to test this out. It's a nice looking board. I feel ASRock was, or ASRock, I should say, was going to make a comeback. It's a great price for what it is. What processor? If we run a test on this, guys, what processor should we run it? Well, as far as I read on it, they decided to delay. Of course they did. Why wouldn't they delay it, right? Would you like to, sure. Thanks. You've been really helpful, Bob, I gotta say. What do you think of the MSI Z8? I think it's decent. Are you thinking of going for it? It almost seems like it, right, Steve? Tulsa. Yeah, just watch the pins get crushed, right? So everyone's concerned. Bob was kind enough to share Discord's official announcement here. We'll come back to the ASRock board. And I gotta say, like, what processor, guys? Feel free to let me know. So for all you guys that are concerned about Discord, this is their official stance on it. I built Discord because I wanted an easier way to hang out with my friends online. The way I did growing up, that's true today. When I get off work, I hop on VC with friends. Okay, voice chat. So watch some spend hours. Okay, I'm not going to obviously read the whole thing. This isn't about Discord, but let's see what they say. Let me be upfront. We knew this rollout was going to be controversial. Anytime you introduce new things, that touches identity and verification, obvious reasons, especially about getting hacked. Again, that's the biggest problem we all do have. My Discord is a decade old. I shouldn't need to verify. Yeah, I know. I agree. Like, if you registered your account at a certain time period and birth date, they should honestly just go by it. I mean, okay, say they do this, right? There's always going to be a way to work around. There's always workarounds. And it just doesn't make sense. They say that what they will do is, like, when you verify the identity, that they will not hold the information, but they will release it. But the problem is, once you send the information, how long do they actually hold on it? That's why I want to know. But they say nothing changes for 90% of users. Most users never access age-restricted content. That's interesting. What does that mean? Age-restricted content? Big boy, what's going on? Okay, let's see what they're doing. The main focus here is this. We heard you, and we want to get this right, so here's what's happening. We're delaying our global rollout. Of course you are, because everyone's going to leave. That's why. Adding more verification options, we already had alternatives to the top 10%. Exactly. So, including credit card verifications, we'll complete. Oh yeah, that's great. Just scan your ID and your credit card. We promise that it'll be safe. Vendor transparency. We'll document every verification vendor and their practice on our website. Make sure it's a clear product of which vendor each vendor is. We've also got a new requirement: any partner offering facial age estimation. If they don't meet the bar, we won't work with them. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like backdoor deals. So let's move on with that. A new spoiler channel option. We all know communities use age-restricted channels. Yeah, of course, right? They got to document it. So we will have age-restricted channels not for adult content, but for topics people prefer to engage with. A technical blog post before global launch. So they're going to explain how their automatic age determination system works. So what are they going to do? They're going to give you a quiz, right? And they'll probably list like TV shows and movies and things of that nature, just to get an idea of what generation you were born, whether if you were Gen X or if you were baby boomer, or if you were a millennial, or even if you're a Gen Z. So I'm assuming that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna say what's your all-time favorite show, and they're gonna list each one from each generation. Data, ad subscriptions, cosmetics. Every social app does this eventually. They're looking to make money from it. Well, see, the thing is, we all know Discord. They were going public. That was the main reason. Discord was going public, so that way they can have public investors or public shares, so people can purchase their stock. So that's what they're working on now. So we all had this fear because Discord announced this a little while ago about them going public, and because that's going to certainly affect how the way Discord thinks. It's no longer going to be the way it used to be, as we all know. It's going to be more you're going to see more ads. You're going to see more different things like stores, different features like that. And I think that's like the big issue too. It's funny, just like when you were hoping better things, especially Discord is more on consoles as well, that it can be more useful when you join in than things like voice chat and gaming with console players finally, right? Because that was the big thing. It's like you want to be able to crossplay and be able to talk to the people even if they're in another system. But now Discord might be changing its tune. It'll probably still do it, of course, but it's not going to be the same exact way. When you answered it, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. Just like what NYC says. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how that turns out. I see they emphasize safety now. They'll have a safety center. Maybe they always had it. I've never really looked into the Discord's website, but yeah, I'm really curious. One of the things I was thinking of was TeamSpeak. It was TeamSpeak, and the other one begins with a V. TeamSpeak. I'm curious how this will be. It seems like more people are interested in something like this. Remember this? This is like a throwback, though. I feel like if they were implement age verifications, it should be. I agree, because I mean, it just makes sense to be like pretty much grandfathered in, right? Money gets pushed to the top priority. Absolutely. Money. That's a problem when it comes to money. and companies. It becomes more about how can I make the most money? Kind of like DLC and when it comes to games. The TeamSpeak. This is a good opportunity for them to really come back. But it's been so long. Let me see. Let me see. TeamSpeak. Let's see the overview. Because it's been a while. I think it's limited to so many servers, correct? That's one I want to get to. I want to attempt it. But is it, when it comes to TeamSpeak, is it limited amount of people that could go into it, correct? Like, for example, I remember one of the questions was, like, how many people do you expect in the server? That's an awesome feature, if it does let you self-host. Let's go to RAM again. 3256 gigabyte USB with purchase. They're trying to incentivize it now. Then you get a motherboard and memory combo. That's a better deal. Actually, that's decent. That's actually pretty decent. Some of my friends have decided to move. Oh, really? That's interesting. Steam group chats. What do you guys think of that? I would love to get a consensus on what everybody thinks. What most people would go for when it comes to our server on Discord. Of course, I'll keep it open, but it should be called Corsair Money Vengeance now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how they're just like throwing a motherboard in the mix now. Like if it's like, because remember when it used to be that if you purchase a motherboard, RAM would be a nice addition. Now it's the opposite. You purchase RAM and then the motherboard is a nice addition. It's crazy. Steam groups have text and voice chats. I don't know how well stream. Well, the thing is, I don't really stream too much on Discord anyway. I use it more for so everyone can stay in contact when it comes to questions, when it comes to PC builds. So it would be great for that. But I just wonder if there is a limit when it comes to count. For example, on Discord, as if you guys are a part of the server, we have about 170, I think like 173 members or something like that on Discord. So I want to be able to make sure everyone has an opportunity to join another chat if they can. Oh, really? So that's what happened. So it deletes after 3 days. So they're trying to clear out the motherboard. Yeah. You know, because they got the new ones coming out. Again, the 64 megabyte BIOS. You're going to see more of those. ASUS has, I think, started releasing theirs, which is the Neo. I know there was a lot of questions on it, but they slowly have been releasing it. For me, the Walmart RAM prices. So CPU used to be the main decision. Now it's one of the cheap. Isn't that? Tell me how that makes sense. Isn't that crazy? Let me just throw in there that if anyone's on YouTube trying to chat and you're unable to, if it's giving you issues, please join on Twitch and feel free to ask your questions. YouTube has issues right now, so feel free to join in on Twitch. But some of my friends are finally excited to realize that they can use their purchase emotes. Yeah, you can. Where the Waffle Skater. I should make him because he's my guy here. I should make him the mod on Twitch. How's that sound with you, Waffle? for a day. Be a mod for the day. I thought way back when Corsair's 32 gigabyte kit was 200 and change was a lot. I agree. I remember I was hesitant because I needed to upgrade the RAM on my Threadripper build, and this is DDR4. I was hesitant on purchasing 64 gigabytes for $130. Now I'm kicking myself for not doing it. Almost big. I ate about 18 ounces of chicken now. So this is actually a decent deal. If you want to do an ice build, technically you're paying $100. Actually less for the motherboard. And this is an X870. Honestly, if I was able to make both streams, I'd be interested. But I'd really only make that weekend because of... I get it. No, I get it, Waffle. Ice build, but black memory. Of course. They want you to take the heatsink out and paint it. I know I have because I've been talking at the same time. And it's a lot of chicken. I'm on my last piece though. I just got broccoli and eggs. I think I did eat over an hour. So if you want to work out and gain some mass or stay lean, lots of chicken. I think I'm finally on my last bite. I'm sorry, the meal wasn't more entertaining like some ramen or soba. Okay. I have 32 gigabytes of it. Oh, really? Is it from MasterCard? You can if they're older titles. That's what I'm feeling like. It is like a mukbang. That's exactly what it feels like. Maybe next time I do that. I just bought the same kit with a 9850 X3D. Oh, there you go. Did you put it together? The RAM kit's good. That's actually a decent RAM kit. You're talking about Corsair's Vengeance? My new PC is still sitting on my table downstairs. I've been so busy. Oh, really? I got to see your conversation a little bit about the Corsair. Is it everything working okay now, Waffle? I forgot to ask you about it. Oh, yeah, it's decent. Everything's decent on your build, South Star. Woo. I should eat the broccoli first. Okay, so this one's not too bad. So I'm eating some chicken, broccoli, and eggs. Nothing crazy. Decided to have a chance to eat before the stream, so now I'm eating. So now I'm on the broccoli part. I know it's a bit boring. I'm thinking 16 gigabytes of very good DDR4. I didn't realize I needed. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, really? It didn't come with the instructions? That's terrible. Really? I think I got it in my drawer too. What's up? No, what's up? Oh, with waffle. I'll show you. But I think you got it figured out. If yeah, you need the power to go through the fans. They're magnetic, right? Is it you have 3 fans total? You bought the 3 fan kit, or did you just buy 1 or 2? Oh, V-Color Manta. They're not very big, but they're decent. They are decent. Okay. Okay. So, this look familiar? Something like this, right? That's what you got, the Corsair link. You got to hook it up to your fan. See that? It has the power. You have a white one. But pretty much the same concept, right? But yeah. So, you just hook up the fans. Well, you hook up the USB. The back obviously has its own port. You just plug that in. And, of course, this goes to your fan side. Now, if you're connecting your fans, you just have to make sure it's a closed connection. So that way it can work. But, I'm glad you got it working together. But, yeah. I have a bunch of this stuff here. It's still pretty crazy how they have a, they still have it like USB-C. Let me just see. Right here. Not USB-C, but it's more like micro USB. I can't believe they still use this, the micro USB. And it just plugs in just like that, and that's what detects it on your PC. They do you dirty with that. You have to, they're a little tricky now. I get it, because the cable that they give you, they gave you this cable, probably. This one, right? This cable here. It's about, roughly about like 2. No, not even. Let me see. It's about 1 foot. Not even. It's less. It's like, it is small. I bought them 2 long ass ones today. So they sent me 4. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's messed up. Especially when it comes to something like that. I think when I did my build with Corsair, I bought 2 kits. I bought 2 3 fan kits. And that's how I got away with it. If I didn't, if I only bought the 3 fan kit, I would have been completely screwed too. So that's the only thing. It's like, be mindful when it comes to Corsair's new setup, because it's a lot more stringent, I feel like. But I'm glad you got it figured out. You got those finally connected together. So for anyone joining in on YouTube and just curious, sorry, Waffle. You can join in on the Twitch side. Let me see. Okay, so speaking of which, some of you are probably coming in and wondering about the case. About when it comes to PCs. That's right, bringing Gold Duck. Gotta love Gold Duck. So, when it comes to PCs, the pricing has not been the greatest. It seems expensive. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that it's going to remain this way. It's going to remain difficult. The current pricing that you're seeing now is going to actually seem like a deal. And this is what I explained in my stagnation video here, is that this is practically going to be the new normal. Yeah, that's the problem. I agree, Danny. I need to talk to Micro Center and be like, you guys really need to open up like a European store. Like open up some on the European side. I know you guys over in the UK would love it. You guys over in places like Germany and Italy would love to get something like this. Of course, there's different variations. Similar to a Micro Center, but not quite. And most importantly, what I want to say, guys, is if you're getting a GPU, don't be afraid to get a 9070 XT. It's a great deal, and to get it, it's worth it, especially if you're going to be using it for gaming. Do you expect pricing to stay where it is? I think it's going to hold, but I do feel like it's going to end up like probably spiking slightly up, like once we hit into like April, like probably middle of March to April. I feel like once you see the Arrow like refresh for some reason, it's gonna spike up a little bit. I miss Fry's. I do. Fry's was amazing. Fry's was an amazing store. I'm currently rocking a 7800. Hey, it's a good combination though. Excellent pick. Don't be afraid to run a Intel processor and an AMD GPU, or vice versa, an AMD processor with a NVIDIA. That kind of throws everyone off. But you get the drift. Of course, Intel has their GPUs, but they're definitely budget friendly still. I mean, like if you look at the B570, and you're trying to really, if you're really tight on cash here, and you just need something to game on, I mean, this is an option, guys. Right here, the $300 graphic card, and they do have the Battle Mage too, so you can go with this if you'd like. It's only $300. Great for your Fortnite players out there. I hope so. That would be miraculous at NYC. I agree. If that happens, I would love that for that to happen. But again, investors may stop investing, and if that's the case, then they're not going to really have the funds to purchase more wafers. These AI companies won't be able to purchase all these wafers. $9,800 XTD with the 7900 XTX. Absolutely. Hey, I like. Again, when it came to Raptor Lake's still a great CPU. Of course, it gets a bad rep of what's currently going on, but I know, isn't that? Tell me how that makes sense. Battle Mage. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Am I rocking a 4090? No. I currently have the 5090. I do miss my 4090 though. If anyone does have the 4090, keep your hands on it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. That 4090 is worth keeping. Yeah, and I regret it. I actually sold the whole PC. It was in a X670E ASUS Hero motherboard. And what was it? I actually did that. I have to find that video. I think it was the 7950X 3D. And I ended up selling that PC because I just had too many PCs. So I had to get rid of it, and I had to do more builds too for the channel. But don't fret, because there's going to be definitely more PC builds coming up soon. Can't wait to share with you guys. As you guys know, we do got a Gigabyte RTX. So that's it. I know. Yes. If you have a 4090, don't upgrade to the 50 series. Honestly, just keep it. I really respect AMD because they are fighting in all sides. I hope. I kind of feel like they're kind of going to the dark side a little bit there. Does anyone else feel that same way? They feel like you feel like AMD kind of threw us to the side, like we're. Every time I think about them, I gotta remind myself to email them. Now, let's take a look at, again, when it comes to their memory prices here. It's this DDR4. That's what I mean. I feel the same way, MIC. I agree. Definitely hold on to it as long as you can. It doesn't matter if they go to the dark side, they're always fine. Hey man, they gotta pick one side. They want to win the gamers over. This is their opportunity. And if this AI bubble busts, you can't expect everyone just to bend over and be like, "Hey, like, we're willing to take whatever you give us." We'll feel like second class citizens. Tell me what NVIDIA CPU to choose. You mean, or which Intel GPU? You mean what matches with the 5090 or the 9070 XT? Honestly, it depends on what you're using it for. They're both great choices here. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they? And then NVIDIA's supposed to drop their SoC sometime soon, if you guys know. Okay, so tell me how that makes sense. 16 gigabytes for $140. That should be easily like what? That should be like 64 gigabytes of DDR4. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Let's all celebrate, right? Yeah. It's quite a bit overpriced. I kind of miss the look of DDR4 though. Don't you guys miss it a little bit here? AMD should make something which can match a 5090. Well, again, yeah, that's absolutely my beef. AMD has the opportunity to take over. Excuse me. AMD has absolutely the opportunity to take over, but they choose not to. They can do it. Uh, they just got pretty much thrown into the mix when it comes to being the best when it comes to AI. 98. You know, I'm curious about how the whole NVIDIA's ARM processor is going to be. It's going to be interesting, especially in a laptop or in a handheld format. I would imagine there would be a lot of demand for it. I wonder if, and it also makes me wonder if Nintendo is going to get pissed off too, because how they exclusively do their Switches. Now they're gonna see Nvidia coming out with their own version if they come out with a gaming handheld. Can you imagine? Um, but yeah, every time I think about the Switch 2, I am just so disappointed, and I'm still waiting for a OLED version. So I got any recommendations on APU sides? Depends. Like if you're looking for a handheld, like as like an ASUS ROG Ally, I would say then that would be worth getting like the Z2 Extreme. Excellent. It's an excellent APU actually. Also like or really it's like an SoC, but the APU side, I would say you do have the Strix Halo. Strix Halo is really good, which is going to be like the three. They have the 387, I think it is. It's an odd number. but they had the 387, and they also had the 400 series, which is a bit lower tier. And they also had the 395 Max, which is also a great processor. All my 4 new builds are based on AMD CPUs. And with them for NVIDIA GPUs, I can't find. Hey, NVIDIA CPUs, you're going to have to wait if NVIDIA ever goes that route, but I don't think they will. As of now, we could be wrong. NVIDIA can, I mean, they're working with Intel now, so they have the architecture. Can you imagine if they came out with a CPU? It's only going to be, what, $1,500 for a CPU, right? Not yet. At least not yet. They're going to come out with the SoC, which is a bit different, which is an all-in-one. It's like an APU. So it's going to be CPU. It's going to have an MPU in it and a GPU with the memory, kind of like an M1 chip from Apple. Something like that they're coming out with. Really? Oh, I'll find out. I'll let you know. I do have the ASUS ROG Ally, and I do plan to get the game, so I'll give it a shot if it doesn't. So, fam, guys, I thank everybody for coming into the stream as always. I thank YouTube for being terrible today. But thank you, Twitch, for being solid as always. I'm glad Twitch was working. But I do appreciate for everyone coming into the stream. Saturday stream will be as scheduled, which will be at 8 a.m. Eastern. So thank you guys all for coming into the stream. You guys definitely made the stream a lot of fun. Waffle Skater, Z-Man, Danny NYC. Of course, I gotta add our wonderful Bob Barkison. He was also awesome. Southstar. And I thank Flapjack. I thank all you guys. Endless. Ernesto, our main guys. LSG. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate you guys. And I hope I see you guys on Saturday coming up. And please join in the free Discord and join in the roundtable if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. Take care and have a great night or evening, guys. See you soon. Thanks for following again, Bob. I do appreciate it. Absolutely. Always fun talking.